Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. I wanted to talk a little bit in this video, not about some technical detail, but more about sort of mentally getting through a bear market. Now I know bear markets are really tough, and from a brain standpoint, you have to go through a lot of anxiety and have to process all of that in order to get through it properly. And I want to share some tips on how to do that in a way that that's sustainable. So the thing that really will kill you, during bull runs, it's usually envy that kills you because you're thinking about other coins that you could have invested in that would have gotten you much better returns. During a bear market, the harder thing is to control your anxiety because you think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Is everything going to drop? Am I going to have to sell everything? Am I going to get squeezed? So here are some tips. Number one, keep some money in fiat. Now this isn't like the greatest advice, but it'll help from an anxiety standpoint, because if you have some money coming in either through your job or through savings or something like that, that will help you get through it. If you just have to last longer than the bear market and you will be okay. So the key is if you can keep some sort of, if you have a job, keep it, obviously, don't quit or anything. But if you also have savings, that also goes a long way. The thing that you don't want to happen is to get squeezed. And from a trading parlance, that's basically where you're forced to sell Bitcoin at a very low cost. I've had to do that before. It really, really, really sucks. So keep some money coming in either through a job or through savings or something like that. That's extremely helpful. Second tip for managing your anxiety is, honestly, it's about doing something to calm yourself, right? A lot of times this, like just not watching the news will help a lot. I think there was a period in 2015 where I didn't check the Bitcoin price once for like 3 months or something like that. And it was mentally very healthy. And you can do the same thing, not just for Bitcoin, but for almost anything else. I stopped paying attention to the news right around a year and a half ago. And that's definitely helped with my mental state, because a lot of news is out there just to make you super anxious, super, fearful, and, they want you to read more basically to calm yourself down, when in fact, actually, it's kind of like an addiction. It makes you read more and more because you get more and more anxious. So cutting things out of your life that do make you anxious can be really, really helpful. And if you're going to do something to replace that habit, I would suggest, something to calm down your mind. I'm a Christian, so I pray, but there are other, faiths that do other things. I hear meditation works for a lot of people, but something to calm yourself down, on a daily basis, maybe weekly basis, whatever it is. It's not good to be in a constant state of stress. Sometimes some state of stress can be very good. Other states of stress can be very bad. And this sort of low-level constant stress can be very, very difficult. The third thing to sort of reduce anxiety for the long term is to think long term, right? Like, and basically, if you're thinking in terms of 5 to 10 years and thinking about how you will feel 5, 10 years from now, looking back now, that helps a lot. And if you were in this space 5 years ago, that's very easy to do, because you look at 5 years ago and what you were thinking, and you go, wow, that was kind of stupid. I really shouldn't have cared about all of these things that didn't end up actually mattering. So, having that long-term orientation, or thinking from the future backwards rather than, what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, helps a lot. And this is let's face it, we're in a bear market, and you have to think about these things in order to get through it. And this is my way of trying to give you some motivation to hold on, and to get through it. Because if you do get through it, I promise you, the rewards are tremendous. And this is where you earn your money, is through a bear market, when you're tempted to sell, when you want to get something, when you're doing things for the long term instead of just satisfying your short-term needs. Anyway, song is done.